on this interview, I kind of want to ask you some things that maybe a lot of people don't know about you. Obviously, people know you about your commitment to Alabama and being in Prattville, but what's something that's real intriguing about you that a lot of people don't know? The common man doesn't know.
Uh, I guess if you don't follow me, you probably would know that I grew up an Auburn fan,
Yeah.
and I mean, my mom graduated from Auburn. One of my uncles graduated from there as well, and that's all we grew up knowing is Auburn football. You get older and you start to see more teams play, and I was blessed enough to be recruited heavily by a lot of schools, and just being an in-state kid, and you know it all played out with me, committing to Alabama. But yeah, I grew up a Auburn fan.
Now you still got Auburn stuff in your house.
Yeah, my mom, she's not gonna let none of the Auburn stuff go. I took a little bit out of my room, but everywhere else in the house, she has it in there.
Let me ask you: when Auburn, when they first offered you, was it hard not to jump on that offer?
I mean, I had a lot of offers then, before that point. So I kind of learned to not let emotion, take over, and just make an informative decision on, where I want to be for, the next 4 years in my life. So I didn't really, take it as, oh, I grew up as a Auburn fan. I should hop on that offer. I was like, well, I got to play my cards right, and go to the school that I feel is best for me, and not just go to the school that I grew up going for.
Now are they now is Auburn they still recruiting you?
Oh yeah, they're still recruiting, still putting on a full court press, and I mean, that's always good to just to know, schools are interested in you still, even though you are committed. But
Mhm.
my commitment right now is, 110%.
Now who do you have the best relationship with on the Auburn staff that you continue to speak with?
Probably, Coach Malzahn, of course, and Poe and T. Will, those three guys.
Okay. All right. What's kind of been their main message, to you even after your commitment to Alabama?
Just really trying to build a relationship and get to know me, get to know my family more, and probably really the same thing that Alabama was doing. Just they're a little late, but Alabama they were doing that, even like a little bit before they offered, and in February they was building a relationship with me, so they kind of jumped the gun first.
Talk about your relationship with the Alabama coaches. Kind of when did it begin? When did all the interest come? Start coming from Alabama, and when did they really kind of turn the heat up on you?
I mean, I guess the interest really just kind of started when I was playing DB in the beginning of my junior season at like spring practice, and Coach Kelly, he came to a practice and he didn't really get to watch me, but he wanted to see me run because he seen my film before, but he didn't really get a chance because I was in baseball, and so the junior season went on. That's when they moved me to outside linebacker, and they got a taste of that film then. And he ended up coming when the open period came and he got to visit and see me in person and talk, and then ended up going to a junior day, and that's when they offered, and ever since then they've been recruiting real heavy, and that's why I ended up committing in May, just the relationship that I built with that staff, from that time, and I knew that it wouldn't go anywhere but up from that point.
Talk about your relationship with the Alabama coaches, specifically Coach Kelly and some of the other coaches that you've gotten a chance to really get to know. I guess not in person, not a lot in person, but at
Yeah.
least through text messages and calls and FaceTime calls.
Me and Coach Kelly, our relationship, is really tight. I can call him about anything. He calls me before every game, and just talk to me and ask what I'm doing because I usually have a little bit of free time with us just starting school tomorrow actually. But he usually calls and just talks a little bit, and uh, but we've always had a good relationship ever since he came up to the school and came and talked with me. We just had that relationship through football, and now that we get to know each other outside of football, we're building up a relationship through just through life as well. And Coach Golden and him too, we have a good relationship. We stay in contact a lot, and he tries to coach me up a little bit, even though I'm not there right now. But he coaches me up a little bit now, and Coach Saban as well. We talk a lot, through Zoom calls or FaceTime calls, and try to get my mom on the phone as well when I talk with Coach Saban, just to if she has any questions. But we all those three guys mainly, I have a real good relationship with.
Now, what's your current height and weight, and what position have the coaches been saying? They think you'll start out at once you get to Alabama.
Yeah, so I boosted up a little bit. I'm like 6'3", 225, really, and still the outside. They're looking at me at the money spot right now. That's what Coach Keller has been bringing up to me, and talking to me about that money spot, and just watching guys like Christian Harris and um, watching him and just seeing how he played. Last year stepping in that role, that big role he had to fill, and I have a lot to learn from him once I get up there, and I'm planning on graduating early, so I have a lot of time to get up there and
Okay,
learn from
great.
him.
Yep, that was going to be one of my next questions was if you're going to be able to get there earlier or not.
Yeah.
During COVID, I know things were obviously really difficult with the country being shut down and not being able to
Mhm.
practice, be with your teammates and stuff like that. What were you able to do? I guess during the summer months, even after your commitment to Alabama, were y'all able to start working out as a team again, or when did all that start back? And what all were you able to do to kind of get yourself prepared for this upcoming or for this season?
So yeah, when it was really shut down, I tried to do some stuff like in my backyard and stuff just to stay in shape. But as stuff started to open up a little bit and we started to do our practices as a team, that's when we got in together and we kind of had, we had to social distance, of course, and go through some precautions, but we had to split up offense, defense, and everybody got their work in, and I mean it was hard, especially hard now when you don't have a spring to go through and a true summer to go through, and everybody's body is not going to, be how it usually is, going through a high school football season. So I mean, it's hard. Everybody's a little sore, especially after the games and during practice. But I mean, as a player, as a leader, you just got to pick everybody up and make sure that they push through it and push through the season, and don't take any day for granted.
Talk about growing up in Prattville, man. I mean, obviously Prattville's a big time football town. I've covered Prattville for the last 18 years of
Mm-hmm.
being in high school football recruiting, and the team just gravitates towards the football program so much. What's it meant to you to kind of play in that type of atmosphere?
I mean, it's a live environment. I mean, it's a lot of pressure too. I mean, everybody in the community, especially if they know that you're a player and they know that you're gonna start, they'll they'll talk you up all week before the games and in the summer, all of it. I mean, they're just trying to see, if y'all gonna win the next game, and I'll go to my barber shop and all those guys are talking and like, you'll get beat 30-0 by this team, and I'm just like, we'll go out there and do our thing. But I mean, it's a lot of pressure out there, of course. Just playing, like you said, for Prattville football. Where everybody's just focused, solely on the football here. And I mean, it's a lot of shoes, a lot of big shoes to fill, and you just got to come up and step to the occasion.
Let's talk about this Alabama recruiting class. Currently rated as the number one class in the country on rivals.com. You guys probably have, in my opinion, one of the best linebacker classes, if not the best linebacker class in the country.
Mm.
What are your thoughts about y'all's class so far? And have you been able to build a relationship with some of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, our class, like you said, number one. I mean, it's real special, and yeah, we're building a relationship right now. We got group chats, and we just talk, pretty much every day, text each other, see what's going on. But I mean, it's a real special class. A lot of athletes, a lot of talent, and I guess the good thing for me is I get to go compete against the best that's in the country. No one, no one in that group really wants to shy away from competition. I think that's why they chose Alabama. To pick, not only the people in front of you, but the people that's coming up with you are some of the best in the country. And like you said, that linebacker group it's a lot of good ones, and we're all gonna try to find our way on the field. If not early, but somewhere down the road.
Well, I think just from watching film and seeing how much you've kind of grown over the last year, in my opinion, you're one of the most underrated players in the country. Still rivals 250, but in my
Yeah,
opinion, you're pretty underrated, and people don't know about
yeah,
you. And I wish that we would have been able to have a spring so that you've been able to get to some camps and being able to get seen a little bit more by the regional, national, recruiting guys. But they're going to see
yeah.
plenty of film on you this upcoming season. What's maybe something you want Alabama fans to know about you? Just what you put into it, every single day, and what Alabama's getting in you here in the future.
Really just that my game, it speaks loudly. I mean, if anybody, wants to click on my film and go to Huddle and watch some of my film, some of my highlights, I mean, my game speaks like really loud. I play with a lot of emotion and a lot of controlled emotion. I don't really like go too far over that limit, but I know how to control myself in the games and get the guys around me to play with that emotion as well. And I play really fast and try to play above the level that I'm competing against, just so everybody else around me that they can come together and we can really beat teams and make them not want to play us again.
Good deal. Tell me, got to ask you, your mom Auburn, your uncle Auburn, sister Auburn. How did your family feel about the decision with Alabama?
They really, it was a surprise that nothing bad came out. I mean, not really too much of a surprise, just because it's family, but they knew that I feel like it was the best decision for me. And like I said earlier, it wasn't a decision based off emotion. It was an informed decision. And all the coaches from Alabama, they talked with my family, and even they like all the coaches over there too. So I mean, it really wasn't a shock to any of them really, just because they knew how I felt about Alabama, and when I committed, they were all happy for me.
I know you had a chance to see everything up close and personal yet, but you've probably seen some of the videos of the new facilities down there in Tuscaloosa. And
Mm.
what are your early impressions? And I also have to ask you about the new strength staff. What you think about those guys?
I mean, I've been on a Zoom call with Coach Blue and Coach Ray and all those guys, and they're awesome. I mean, what they have in place for the future and for now, I mean, this is it's gonna be really great, and you'll see Alabama football players, their bodies go up and their play on the field go up, and then just take over the league really. And I mean the new equipment rooms and locker rooms, and I mean it's just all mind blowing, and it's a sight to see. I can't wait to go up there and see it in person. Just seeing the videos right now. But I'm really excited to get up there and really excited to compete with the guys up there.
Now, besides Auburn, are there any other schools that are still trying to come after you, still recruiting you a little bit?
Nah, not really. Auburn is really the only other school that's been making the push as of right now.
Okay. And how confident are you in your commitment to Alabama?
I mean, I'm 110%. I'm fully committed.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, that's all we're going to get with you today. Is there anything you want to say to Alabama fans to end the show with?
I just tell them, keep watching. This 2021 class is gonna be real special. We'll be up there soon.
All right. Well, for Ian Jackson, I'm Andrew Bone, and thank you so much for joining us on the Bama Insider Recruiting Show.